afternoon, March the 18th, 2022. It's about 2:17 p.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. It doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't even matter whether you're the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't matter whether you like me, my YouTube videos, or anything I say or do. You have a prerogative not to like me or anything that I do. That's your prerogative. I come to you all again today to follow up on me being banded and barred from the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority by the white dictator, the executive director of the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority, Paul Page. Those that's been following why I've been borrowed. I've been living where I'm at right now since 2007. Do your math. You know, that's about maybe a good 15 years. Never been barred from anything, really. All I do is what any real activist that's not a sellout do. I speak up against corruption. I speak up for people that's afraid to speak up for themselves. I speak up against wrong, whether it's white people doing somebody wrong or whether it's black people doing somebody wrong. I speak up about it. You see, when I speak up about it, hey now, some people don't like the fact that I speak up about it. Remember, I've been living here since in this particular house, on this particular property, since January the 19th, 2007. Now, I've been doing this here for the longest. I got to step in the streets now because I went down to City Hall today and I talked to the city manager, and I don't agree a lot of time with the City Hall, but I want to step out in the streets and see these sidewalks here. They belong to the housing authority, so I got to walk in the street. You see all the way down. I got to walk in the street. But you see these bushes? Since 2007, come over here, son. Since 2007, I've been cleaning all this here up. After I got my leaves up, when the leaves up here from the housing authority fall, I would get them up. You see what I'm saying? And you can see where inside of my bushes all the way down there. Them ain't the leaves from my trees. These is the leaves from the housing authority. I would clean up. You see what I'm saying? And now I got to get the survey man to let me know how far can I go over here to clean my bushes out, or do I just get my blower and blow them out there, which I know 9 out of 10 times they ain't gonna clean them. They didn't clean these. But I'm gonna show you some more places where I can't go. But I sat down and I talked to the city manager, and he talked to me like a man. He's a white guy. You know, he talked to me like I was a man. I talked to him like I was a man. I asked some of his staff at the window, could I speak to him? And they got him for me. And he let me come in his office and we sat down. I told him what was going on, and I was trying to find out what's all the city property versus what's the housing authority property. And he told me about those sidewalks that's by any of the housing authority that belongs to the housing authority. He told me the Lincoln School or the C.F. Bowen Center, where the people on this side of town, the black side of town, we have community meetings. Me and my two young daughters, 15 and 16 years old, we're NAACP members. That's where we have the NAACP meetings at. When a lot of black folks who family members dies, they have the repast there. But I can no longer go there anymore because this white dictator, executive director of the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority, abandoned me from the properties. It's a basketball court over there, and it's other little places and tracks that we used to walk on. Here it is, a white man dictating because I talked up against a white family who continuously, November, December, January, February, March, I studied video, went to the Housing Authority complaining. And the complaint really went on deaf ears. The foreman, he was doing his job. He said had some of his other workers come cleaning up. But why should they have to clean up when this family is paying rent there and they supposed to clean it up themselves? You see what I'm saying? But I talked to the city manager, and the city manager, I asked him, I said, if there's no court order, is it any reason that a Charleston, Missouri police officer should hand me this letter here? You see where it's from? The Housing Authority, not even sealed, said that I'm banned from. He was shaking his head before I even started, and before I even finished. He said that has nothing to do with the city or law enforcement. He said that's not a legal document. I don't see why that officer even delivered that to you. It should have been, like I told y'all in my previous YouTube videos, it should have been delivered to me by certified mail, not by the Charleston, Missouri Police Department. I didn't commit no crime. You see, and I'm asking the Charleston, Missouri Police Department and any other law enforcement official here in this town and anybody else that's in the good old boy system, respect this here. Don't come bringing me this here if you ain't got a court order, because you're going to be trespassing. That's that no trespassing. Do you see what it said on this tree? Can it be seen? No trespassing. Do you see what it say over here? No trespassing. Do you see what it says right here? No trespassing. Now you tell me, Paul Page, not to get on this property, but you ain't saying a damn thing about this guy's kids coming on my property, putting this trash in my bushes. You ain't saying nothing about his children's going on somebody else's property, going in their mailbox, taking mail out. You ain't saying nothing about his company coming over here and stealing people's dogs. When my daughter's car right here, we got a right to park it right here. This ain't on Housing Authority property. But this same white family that got a felon living in there, his kids have 20 and 30 kids playing over here, which ain't nothing wrong with it. But they facing like I am and the camera is. They over here throwing rocks. Throw it towards that where you break their window, because I know you ain't finna pay if you break my daughter's car window or the windows in the house. But I'm gonna take y'all around to a couple other places where I'm barred out. You see what I'm saying? For just standing up for my human dignity, for my respect. You see what I'm saying? Right down the street in the 700 block on this same street, that same family was down there until November the 5th till their house got put on fire, and people had a petition to get them from up out of there. One of the ladies that worked it for the Housing Authority, she had wrote them up several times for public nuisance. Trash in the front, trash in the back. But Paul Page, by that being a white family, he didn't care. But he gonna send a white police that most of the people in East Prairie, Missouri know how crooked he was. His dispatcher knew how crooked he was. That's why she ran against him and beat him and sent his butt right back down here where they gonna let him do stuff wrong. But I ain't gonna let it do stuff wrong. I'm gonna send it to the Justice Department too, because I feel that was a sense of the intimidation and retaliation. Mark Higgins, you the same one when my cameraman was threatened right in front of you by your sergeant, and you told me you was there and you didn't do nothing about it. If you didn't do nothing about that, you probably went to Paul Page's office and got this here because the chief of police didn't tell you to do it. You did it because you want to do it. Yesterday, I was trying to get back from the post office to get close up on Main Street and Marshall Street to show people you sitting there, you was a traffic cop yesterday. You can't even do that right. But I ain't forgot about this here. Unsealed letter. Police bringing it. You ain't even recognized as the police. What if I didn't even know you were? You did my security camera show you in a jacket that don't say nothing about law and office. How I don't know that you somebody that done stole somebody's vehicle? You didn't even look like a police officer. Had I not known you, then I wouldn't even know you was a police officer. I don't think you're a detective because you is. Charleston, Missouri needs to shut the police department down. They need to send your behind right back to East Prairie or make you the dog catcher. Since you want to deliver mail, come and get some of these damn dogs and cats off the streets. Leave me alone. You see what I'm saying? I ain't scared of you. You seen how I stood toe-to-toe to you, letting people see you doing something that you want to do. You thought you was going to scare me. You may be big, but you don't scare me. Where I come from, the bigger they is, the harder they fall. I don't care if you is a police. Don't bring your ass back on my property unless you have a warrant. You remember that. Now you come on here without a warrant or a judge, I'm going to do you just like I would do any person that's intruding or trespassing. See, I ain't going to send you no damn letter. I want you to read this here. Stay your big ass up off of my property. You corrupted ass police. I'm finna go someplace else now, y'all. Now this is another place that the chief executive or the executive director of the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority now runs, and I'm barred off of. It's in the black neighborhood. The building across the street, this is where my daddy, may he rest in peace, and all the blacks in Charleston, Missouri, this is the only place that they could go to school, and to a family by the name of Davis. Annie and her her daughter and her son, Barbara and Johnny Davis, filed a lawsuit against the Charleston Consolidated School number 7, which is now the Charleston, Missouri R1 school district, because they wouldn't allow blacks to go there. I'm barred out of this building, the C.F. Bowen Center. That's the housing authority right there. That's where the chief executive is at. And this building here is a building where blacks, when they have funerals and things like that, they have funerals there and they have repasts there. I'm an NAACP member in my 15 and 16-year-old daughter. This is where we have NAACP meetings at. We can't go there anymore. Me and my daughters them been walking this track since the track been up here. This is the only track in the black neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? It's the only track in the black neighborhood. I can't walk on that. You notice I'm out in the streets because of this white supremacist Paul Page that dictate the properties. The city made a big mistake when they gave the parks to him. If you look over here, it's a basketball court where my daughters and I play basketball in the summertime. It's a playground over here too that my daughters and them go to. My daughters and them is not barred right now, I don't think. You see what I'm saying? But you know, it's more down here that I want to show y'all that they gave this man authority over and barring me because I'm standing up against some filthy white people in the projects that move on the side of me, that study throw trash down, they little kids stealing out of other people that own homes, mailbox, and they company is stealing other people's dogs. But Paul Page don't see nothing about the wrong with that. But I'm gonna go to another place that they done. All of this. I can't even walk on that sidewalk there, y'all. I have to walk in the streets. This baseball field is ran by the white dictator. All of this here is ran by the dictator. If it was raining, I couldn't get up under this here hut here. I believe it's all ran by the dictator. I encourage the people in Charleston, Missouri that's not amongst the corrupted people, whether you black or white. Think about what Martin Luther King said, where there's an injustice anywhere, there's a threat to injustice everywhere. I encourage blacks, if you can go up against other blacks, don't be scared to go up against whites. There's no race superior than others. This case that I'm talking about now is a clear case of not only discrimination, but attempted intimidation, and no doubt about it, retaliation. Now, all you leaders and all of you members of the NAACP that was in them 3 meetings that I was at and my daughters was at in the C.F. Bowling Center, I want to know how you feel about not only Mark Higgins, a rejected captain or chief of police from East Prairie, come back down here to Charleston, Missouri, and do something that he had no authority to do, had nothing to do with him, wasn't his business at all. People like him need to go to Chicago. You see what I'm saying? People like Paul Page need to go to Chicago. People like any of you corrupted individuals, whether you black or white, y'all need to go to places like Chicago. You see what I'm saying? I guarantee you, people ain't gonna, y'all think that I'm being mean. People ain't gonna talk to you. They tired of people like y'all. This is not 1619 when they brought us over here on the Mayflower. This is not 1492 when y'all celebrate that rapist, that murderer, that thief, that robber, Christopher Columbus. That's what I think about Christopher Columbus. That's what I think about Christopher Columbus. There's no reason for no people to celebrate or honor Christopher Columbus. He was a robber, a rapist, and a thief. That's like there ain't nobody should be honoring Mark Higgins. He's a criminal. He came over here, he didn't even show his uniform. Look at my video cameras from my security cameras. He was trespassing. I didn't give him authorization to come over here. His chief didn't give him authorization to come over here. Didn't no court give him authorization to come over here. He came over here by himself. Go in Chicago and do that. Mark Higgins, go in Chicago and walk up on some of these black folks' private property, trying to intimidate them for a white family that's disrespecting the black neighborhood. Or a executive director for a housing authority that's a grand wizard or white supremacist. Go do that in Chicago. I guarantee you that'll probably be the first and the last time you do it. I encourage y'all, especially in the black community, start knowing what your rights is. Everybody white ain't against you, just like everybody black may not be on your side. Y'all see so far, ain't damn black leader in this town, not even NAACP. Ain't none of them spoke up on it. But then when certain things happen to certain people's family in this town, the first one they call is Raymond. Can you come speak up? And I do. You see what I'm saying? But ain't now one of these excuse me, Lord, ain't now one of these individuals came and spoke up. You know why? Because they want to use me and my voice, because I ain't scared, but I'm going to continue to speak up for me and my 2 daughters. I don't care if Paul Page don't like it. I don't care if Mark Higgins don't like it. I don't care if the President of the United States don't like it. Long as I'm speaking up for what's right, I'm going to continue to do it.